The United Nations Security Council is now saying what Pakistan has been saying all along, that militant groups are operating out of Afghanistan. In its latest report, the UNSC says a wide range of member states consistently report that multiple terrorist groups are present in Afghanistan, and this list is long. It includes Islamic State Khorasan Province, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or TTP, Al-Qaeda, the Eastern Turkestan Islamic Movement, also known as the Turkestan Islamic Party, Jamaat Ansarullah, Ittihadul Mujahideen Pakistan, and many others. According to the UN, some of these groups have used or are still using Afghan territory to plan and prepare attacks outside the country. That directly contradicts repeated Afghan Taliban claims that no militant groups are operating from their soil. The report also explains how these groups function and how they relate to the Taliban. Al-Qaeda, for instance, is assessed as maintaining close ties with the Taliban. It keeps a low profile, but the UN says that it benefits from a permissive environment that allows training and reorganization across several Afghan provinces. The Islamic State Khorasan province is a different case. It's described as the Taliban's primary adversary. Taliban operations have reduced its territorial control, but the group continues to carry out attacks inside Afghanistan and abroad. But the most serious and immediate threat to regional stability, according to the UN, is the TTP, as in the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. The report says the TTP enjoys strong support from elements within the Taliban and operates from sanctuaries inside Afghanistan. It also states clearly that Taliban authorities continue to deny and deflect responsibility for failing to restrain the group. Within the Taliban itself, the UN identifies a split. Some senior members increasingly see the TTP as a liability, something that unnecessarily damages relations with Pakistan. Others, however, remain sympathetic or openly supportive. The UN's assessment is blunt. Given the historical ties, the Taliban are unlikely to confront the TTP, and even if they wanted to, they may not actually have the ability to do so. The scale of violence linked to the TTP is alarming. The UN says the group has carried out numerous high-profile attacks in Pakistan from Afghan soil. The number of attacks has been rising throughout 2025, with some estimates putting the figure at more than 600 attacks this year alone. Many of these were complex operations involving vehicle-borne IEDs, coordinated teams, and suicide attackers working together. The report also notes that a majority of suicide bombers in Pakistan were reported to be Afghans. Pakistan has long accused the Taliban of harboring TTP fighters, and now the UN report supports that claim. It estimates that around 6,000 TTP fighters are based in Afghanistan, mainly in Khost, Kunnar, Nangarhar, Paktika, and Paktia. According to the report, the group's leader, Noor Wali Masood, is reportedly living in Kabul. One unnamed member state even reported that Masood's family receives a monthly payment of 3 million Afghanis, roughly $43,000 from the Taliban. Adding another layer of complexity is Afghanistan's increasing friendliness with India. As Kabul continues to maintain and expand ties with New Delhi, it further complicates the trust deficit and puts any meaningful improvement in Pakistan-Afghanistan relations at greater risk, especially at a time when cooperation on security should be the priority. Now, what's important to understand is that Pakistan hasn't just been pointing fingers. It has repeatedly tried diplomacy with important regional players. And repeatedly, these efforts have failed. In Qatar, in Turkey, and recently even in Iran, where the Afghans didn't even show up. So when you look at the full picture, the takeaway is hard to ignore. Pakistan has raised alarms. Pakistan has tried talks. Pakistan has pushed for regional solutions, and now the United Nations has confirmed that the core problem Pakistan has been pointing to does in fact exist. Now, the question going forward isn't whether militant groups are operating from Afghan soil, because the UN has already answered that. The real question is whether diplomacy can work when one side refuses to show up, and whether anyone is willing or able to confront the problem head-on.